There's a line from the book Beloved by Toni Morrison that is like stuck with me my whole life. And I keep thinking about it all weekend when I'm watching what's going on in the news. And in the book, a grandmother who was formerly enslaved is talking to their loved ones who were also formerly enslaved and says about white people, they don't know when to stop. And like that has just sat in my mind ever since. I've used it as a view, or like a lens to view the world in, and that you can understand a lot about history, especially like colonial history, when you admit that that's true, that white people don't know when to stop, and we're seeing that now. What's going on with the level of authoritarianism and like the lawlessness of what's going on and the corruption of what's going on is just going to keep escalating out of control until we stop it. And so I want you to think about the things that you can do to help try and stop it. I want you to use your social media platforms as a way to pull people out of the sand. Like they have their heads in the sand. And, like in movies when they shake people and they slap them. That's kind of what we have to do. We have to wake people up, because I know that a lot of people are trying to protect themselves. But the fact of the matter is they're going to wake up in a world that they no longer recognize, that they don't want to be a part of. And unfortunately, it's going to be a world that their kids are going to have to grow up in. And we can't let that happen, right? We have to pull people along with us out of this. We need to spend a lot of time working on things that are like oppositional. Like we need to be the opposition party, no matter what your party you belong to. We need to oppose the people that are doing this. That means spending, it's good to make fair criticisms of the Democrat Party, and we should be asking leadership to step down, but we should not be passing propaganda that says that all Democrats are doing nothing, because that's not true. There are a lot of Democrats doing things right now, and it's our job to elevate those people and shift the Overton window. We can make this party change, and we can make this country change. But it's going to take time. You have to get over this idea that you're going to make one phone call or one email and that's going to make a difference. You're going to show up at one time to one protest and that's going to make a difference. You have to just keep going. You have to be relentless with this. And you have to stop waiting for someone else to save you, because that's not going to happen. There are a lot of people that right now that think that like that they can just play with this, like MAGA people, and like I call them like ghost MAGA people. You know how like ghosts are people who are dead and don't really know they're dead yet. They haven't gone into the light. And MAGA, there's like ghost MAGA. They're like that too. They don't fully realize they're MAGA, but they're already spreading all the propaganda and towing the MAGA line on that. So they think that they can just do whatever, and somebody else will eventually come back and clean it up, and they can have their fun for 4 years, and they can then somebody else will come in and clean it up, and they get to criticize that person the whole time that they're doing the actual work to clean up behind them. And that's because they come from privilege and they're parented by either their spouse or their colleagues, or they just, there's someone else that's always doing the hard work for them. And they just are the ones that get to sit and criticize the way that they do it. We've got to work around these people and not try to pull them with us because they aren't going. So you should be using your social media to be telling people what's going on, but don't let those people take over your platform. When they post their bullshit takes, delete their comments. Don't even explain it to them. Just delete their comments. If you want to, block them. But if you're, for whatever reason, and people have their reasons, they still have access to you, just delete their comments. Don't even argue them. Just delete them. They'll eventually either get upset enough that they stop bothering you, or they'll unfriend you, and then the trash will take itself out. Don't worry about it. Elevate people who are doing the work. Wake people up. Do what you can in your situations in your own life. People have different abilities based on like where they work or who they are or what power they wield. Find ways to use that. I want to say this. Years ago, I was warning people, my friends, about the dangers of what the churches were doing with trans people, that they were villainizing them, and that this was going to end badly, and that what the churches were doing was violent. And I wasn't wrong. And we can see where we are now because of that. And if years ago, people that profess to love Jesus would have taken their church and said, if this church has a policy against gay people or trans people or women or whatever, we aren't going back in this church until this church changes it. And we are either going to hold our service out here in the parking lot, or we'll hold it somewhere else if they won't let us do it there. And we're going to pass the plate. And all the money that we collect is going to go towards the local LGBTQ community center or trans rights organization for our state or a women's shelter or whatever it is. If one church would have done that, another church probably would have done that, and another and another. And if every church had done that had these hateful and bigoted policies, those churches, they need that money and they need those people. That's what they consume. They would have changed their tune. Those people held the power to change that window and make their churches less bigoted, and they refused to do it. We can't be those people now, right? We're watching them disappear people because they're brown or because they came here asking for help. They're not even charging them criminally, and these people aren't criminals. They're doing everything by the book. They're taking people's green cards away. They're turning people away because they have things on their phones that are critical of Trump. We have to push back against this. Make your phone calls to your senators and your members of Congress. Donate to organizations that are doing the work. Do your boycotts. Show up at the protests. Use your social media platform, please. That is a huge power that you have that if you aren't using, you're really just throwing it away. Don't worry about the fact that your friends may be interested in other parts of this than you are. Maybe immigration is a big thing for you, but it's the environment that's for them. All of it's good. And remember, we need everybody to have their areas of expertise and the things that they can do and to use them. And let's just band together and let's keep pushing and let's push people out of power that don't belong there right out of their seats. And let's put new people in and just keep going. Like, if you want to say that you're a progressive, let's make progress. Let's keep pushing, and let's not be, let's focus on our opposition to the party that's in power right now, and use all of our energy against them, because this is going fast, you guys. This is escalating fast. We don't have time to lose. We need you.